Good evening. I'd like to call to order the November 4th, 2009 Planning Commission meeting. Let the record show that Commissioners Barrow, Barre, and Wells are not here. All others are present. Acceptance of the minutes from the October 14th Planning Commission meeting.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Marchand, second by Commissioner Bob. Any opposition? Motion carries. We have also on the agenda the minutes from the Joint Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. Motion by Marchand, seconded by Nance. Any opposition? Motion carries. Public comment period. I'd like to open up the floor for public comment. Anyone in the audience wishing to speak on any item not on the agenda, please come forward. You'll have 3 minutes to speak. No one wishing to comment. Public comment period is closed. Item number 6, public hearing to consider the following family partition. Their Harold Roostad Jr. property, lots B 10A and B 10B. Yes, sir.
James Falgu, representing the Roostad family on the following family partition. Comments were made, addressed, and corrected on the plat. Asking the Commission for approval.
Commissioners have any comments at this time? No comments. Open up the floor for public hearing. Anyone wishing to comment on this, please come forward. No one wishing to comment. Public hearing is closed. Any comments, questions by commissioners?
Is this access off of B11, B12, or is it off of B10A and the other ones?
What was that?
How's the access to this, to the new lots that you're creating?
B10A, there was an existing 20-foot servitude of passage between the house and the building up in the front. That was existing from the original, when all this was broken off of the John Broussard property. They didn't want to, the Roostads are building in the back. They didn't want to use the same driveway as existing, so there's a 20 feet on the north line that Miss Margaret Ficklin is agreeing to give them for the property access. So there's two 20-foot servitude of the passage for two separate driveways.
So they're going to get access from the property next door, through the property next door?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
correct. And she's going to be signing the plat to agree to that.
There is a drive and a little culvert already there. You know, I saw where the proposed drive that they're going to use,
Mhm.
it's already there. I guess it's existing, it's old. But, it goes behind this building, and they're going to have to, I guess they'll have to cut down those trees to get back through there. But
Any other comments, questions?
Well, because there is another individual drive for reaching the back lot, I'll make a motion to approve because of that other drive, it does meet the requirements of the ordinance.
Okay, we have a motion to approve by Commissioner Slyman, seconded by Commissioner Nance. Any opposition? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Public hearing to consider the final approval of the following subdivision, Gateway Cove subdivision.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Doug Villian. I represent the developers for Gateway Cove, and we would appreciate your consideration to approve the revision to the plat. We've complied with all the requirements by the Planning Commission, and we hope you consider approval of this item. If you have any questions, please feel free. Thank you.
I have a question.
Certainly.
You already have some houses built in the subdivision, right?
Correct.
Do you have people living in the subdivision?
Yes.
So how does this affect them? I mean, they were sold their lots with the understanding they're going to be a gated community.
Correct. It's a private, the covenants are private and the community is private. Therefore, any actions are by a private contract with or agreement with the residents. So it's like any other subdivision association, the majority vote would rule.
And do the residents of the subdivision know about this? Did you talk to them? Do you know if anyone has talked to them and told them about this?
I did not talk with them. That's between the developers and the association,
Okay.
who have the controlling interest.
Well, right now it would be the developer, right? Because there's not over half
Yes, there
the,
are two developers whose signatures are on the plat, and that would be between them and the residents.
okay.
I have a question on notice. These folks are living in the subdivision and they are clearly affected, notwithstanding the fact that the homeowner association may have the right. I mean, did we provide these folks with notice? Would they be included in the notice?
Is that a
Are we
question
required
me,
to
sir,
notify
or
them?
to the staff?
I'm addressing that to staff.
What was your procedure in the past, and are there any guidelines?
We don't provide notice to adjoining property owners on a plat, on a subdivision?
It's on zoning.
Well, in this case, who would you notice, Julio? Think
You
about
notice
it.
the people in the-
I mean,
yeah.
you're talking about the subdivision itself. They're usually adjacent property owners that are notified. These are the people that are being affected. Now, I agree they should be noticed. They should be notified. But at the same time, I'm looking at this development was purchased by one developer from another. So when it was purchased, the developer that purchased it also agreed to the rules and the promises that were made by the original developer.
Yeah, but
So, you're building houses now. Now you want to go ahead. You promised a gated community, and now you want to take that away.
well, I mean, again, I think the issue is, to me, the subject property is the road right of way. The adjacent property owners now become all the lots in the subdivision, as well as surrounding lots. So I guess the question is, did we notice?
Well, let me throw a question up here. Is it our responsibility to notice those people, because the gated community agreement would be between the developer and the landowner? We have no interest in that particular aspect of it. I don't see where that's our responsibility.
Well, go
So-
ahead, legal, I'm sorry.
I do think we have a duty to give legal notices in certain situations, but in this situation, it is an agreement between a developer and a homeowner. It's not between the Planning and Zoning Commission and the homeowner. And, I mean, we did our proper notice for the meeting. I'm assuming we did. I didn't check everything, but we did give notice for the meeting, and that's all we are required to do.
Okay.
Let me, may I say something? Didn't we approve this as a gated community, and the people bought the property with that in mind, that this commission had approved it as a gated community, and now we do have some liability there. If we approved it as a gated community, then we disapprove it.
You approved it with private streets, sir. The gated community, whether it has gates or not, I think is a private matter with the homeowner association. But I'm not looking for semantics here. It is
Well,
private streets.
It's on their gated community.
I understand that. But the
And it's not
gates, the
semantic.
gates have long since, they've been removed by the homeowners association or the owners of the subdivision. Now it's a matter of private streets being dedicated for public maintenance. Now, the subdivision is an existing subdivision. It's gone through the process of planning.
As a private gated subdivision.
Well, according to the state statutes, of planning and zoning.
It was approved
it was
as a
approved by
gated
this
private
body. Yes, sir.
community. That's what it was approved as.
Yes, sir.
Gated. Now, if you took down the gates, you've already broken a law as far as I'm concerned.
Sorry,
We
I don't
approved it
understand where
as
the
a
law was
gated
broken.
community, and you have,
I don't understand where the law was broken, sir.
well, if we approved it as a gated community and it's not a gated community, then our approval might be void, and maybe it's an illegal subdivision then.
Well, I don't think that would void it if the homeowner association, as it controls its private road right-of-way, elects to eliminate the gates, that they do have, that's a private privilege that they have on private property. That's, that's not subject to, we don't mandate that kind of stuff.
No, we didn't mandate it.
My issue is just being, are these people that live there that have an interest? I see what you're saying, we advertised the meeting, and we met all, that's why I was asking staff if we complied with all of the notice requirements that we have in the ordinance for plat or subdivision. And if we did, then I'm good.
Yeah, the discussion over here was that we notice for preliminary plats, not for final plats. So being that this is a revision to a final plat, we didn't notice. Other than
for
the
hearing.
advertisement in the paper and
Right.
what we're required to do for a final plat.
Okay.
And let me ask you a question, again, on notice. The developer controls a homeowner association, no question there. You don't have that many houses there. Did every member that would have a voting right, whether it's a minority or not, were they given an opportunity to vote on this?
Did every member that has, in other words, every property owner?
Yes.
I cannot answer that. I understand that the controlling interests are the signatures on the plat.
All right.
Okay.
I don't know where we can get to the whole scenario. All right, let me go ahead and open up the floor for public hearing. Anyone wishing to come forward and speak on this, please come forward. No one wishing to speak. Public hearing is closed. Any other thoughts or questions by commissioners?
I think what we're all thinking is that the current homeowners, that the people that have bought the lots in the subdivision are not being given what they bought, but I don't think that's really that's not what they're here for. This is about a road being accepted. Staff has recommended approval contingent on the 2-year bond. So then I'll make that motion, that it be accepted, or motion to approve contingent on a 2-year bond, maintenance bond.
I'll second that motion.
I object.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Slyman, seconded by Commissioner Dumas to approve the subdivision revision. Mr. Marchand objects.
I object.
Okay, and Commissioner Nance objects. Any other objections? All right, motion carries. Okay, item number 8, committee reports, subdivision ordinance committee.
I have a note here somewhere. Staff gave me a note.
Caught you by surprise.
Yeah. We're continuing to meet, and before I forget, our next meeting, we're changing the date. It's not going to follow our normal pattern because of Thanksgiving. So we are going to meet Friday, December the 4th at 8 and 9 a.m.s. And what I want to bring before you tonight is we've continued to work on the simple division ordinance. And what I need, Brian, you're going to send out a copy of what you've got for everyone, right? You were going to email that? Okay. So, and it's not going to be you want to tell them what you're sending out, because you wrote this note and it makes more sense to you.
Yes, ma'am. It's my understanding that through process, we have to recommend a public hearing on an ordinance that we've been deliberating on. So I think you have to make a motion to have a public hearing on an ordinance revising the subdivision regulations for the
But
next
we're not
meeting.
calling it a simple division ordinance, right? Is that what,
Yeah, it's modifying the subdivision regulations throughout it, but intentionally trying to clean up a lot of language. It's doing many things, but addressing conditional divisions and simple divisions and
Conditional
you know,
divisions.
different sections of the ordinance.
okay, so what we need is a motion to bring this to public hearing next month.
So moved.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Second.
Okay. Have a motion by Julio Dumas, seconded by Commissioner Dalton for the subdivision ordinance to come.
Right. And then Brian is going to mail out some information before our next meeting, so you'll have time to look at it before the next meeting. And
Okay.
if you have any suggestions, you know, we'll make them, get them to us as soon as you can.
Okay, very good. Any objections?
I object.
One objection. Motion carries. All right, strategic planning, I don't know if you have anything, Mr. Compton, nothing to report. Old business status update on preliminary plat approvals. And Ricky, do you have, or Ben?
This is just giving notice that the Stonegate Manor subdivision's 2-year
Okay,
preliminary plat period has ended and is automatically rescinded per the ordinance.
okay, all right. I don't think we need to have any action, it's just you're notifying us, okay,
Mr. Chairman and members.
very good.
May I have a point of interest?
Well, I don't know that it's a hearing per se. Are you representing the developer, or what?
I actually represent Mr. and Mrs. Lewis and Cynthia Stafford. I have a notice that we were going to have an item on the agenda.
Wrong meeting.
Which one? The meeting's not over, so which item do you have?
It's zoning.
This is, yeah,
You're right, it's coming out.
yeah.
All right,
I should have made everybody aware that's, yeah, we're not over. Okay. All right. Item number 10,
So-
motion to adjourn. We are adjourned, and we'll be adjourned for 5 minutes, and then we'll